Bel and the Dragon. From the prophecy of Habakkuk, the son of Joshua, from the tribe of Levi. A certain man was priest, whose name was Daniel, the son of Abel, a confidant of the king of Babylon. Now there was an idol named Bel that the Babylonians worshipped, and there was lavished upon it each day the finest wheat flour, 12 artabas of flour, and 4 sheep, and 6 measures of olive oil. And the king revered it, and the king went forth each day and bowed himself to it. But Daniel prayed to the Lord. And the king said to Daniel, "Why don't you bow before Bel?" And Daniel said to the king, "I worship no one except the Lord God, who created the heaven and the earth, and the one who holds power and authority over all flesh." And the king said to him, "This therefore is not a god? Do you not see how much is consumed for him each day?" And Daniel said to him, "By no means let anyone deceive you, for this thing is on the inside mere clay, and on the outside it is bronze. I vow now to you by the Lord, the God of gods, that this has never eaten anything." And having become angry, the king summoned the attendants of the holy place and said to them, "Show plainly the one who is eating the things being prepared for Bel, and if not, indeed you will die, or Daniel, who affirms that these things are not being consumed by him." And they said, "Bel himself is the one who is consuming these things." And Daniel said to the king, "Let it be just so. If I do not show that Bel is not the one who is consuming these things, I will die, and all those who are mine." Now there were attached to Bel 70 priests, besides women and children. And so they brought the king into the idol's temple, and the food was set before the king and Daniel, and mixed wine was brought in and set before Bel. And Daniel said, "You yourself see that these things are laid out, O king. You, therefore, set a seal on the keys of the temple when it is closed up." And the saying was pleasing to the king. Now Daniel ordered those with him, after forcing everyone from the temple, to mark clearly the whole temple with ashes, with no one of those outside of it observing. And then, sealing the temple, he ordered them to seal it up with the signet ring of the king, and with the seal rings of some of the most notable ones of the priests. And so it was done just in this manner. Then it happened on the next day that the king was present at the place. But the priests of Bel, by means of secret entrances, had entered in and eaten everything which had been placed beside Bel, and they had quaffed down the wine. And Daniel said, "Look closely at your seals to see whether they are still in place, O men and priests. And you yourself also, O king, take care lest something is suspicious in your opinion." Indeed, they found that the seal was unchanged, and they removed the sealed lock. And when they had opened the doors, they saw that all the things that they had set out were consumed, and the tables had nothing upon them. And the king was overjoyed and said to Daniel, "Great is Bel, and there is no deception with him." Then Daniel laughed out loud and said to the king, "Come here, see the deception of the priests." And Daniel said, "O king, these footprints, whose are they?" And the king replied, "Of men, and of women, and of children." Then he went to the house in which the priests were living and found the food for Bel along with the wine. And Daniel pointed out to the king the secret entrances through which the priests would enter and consume the things that had been set out for Bel. And the king led them from Bel's temple and handed them over to Daniel, and the expenses put out to run it he gave to Daniel, but he overthrew Bel. Now there was a dragon in the same place, and the Babylonians worshipped it. And the king said to Daniel, "You will certainly not say, considering that this is not merely bronze, 'Look, he lives and eats and drinks. Worship him.'" And Daniel said, "O king, give me the power, and I will slay the dragon without sword or staff." And the king granted him authority and said to him, "I give it to you." And Daniel, taking 30 minas of pitch and hard fat and hair, boiled it together and made a lump from it and threw it into the mouth of the dragon. And after consuming it, the dragon burst open. And he showed it to the king, saying, "Do not worship these things, O king." And all the men from the territories were gathered together against Daniel, and they asserted, "The king has become a Judean. He has overturned Bel and slayed the dragon." Now when the king saw the multitude from the territory had gathered against him, he summoned his close companions and said, "I am giving Daniel over for destruction." And there was a den in which 7 lions were being fed. To them were given those plotting against the king, and there was supplied to them each day 2 bodies of those who have been condemned to death. And the angry crowd threw Daniel into the den so that he would be devoured, and so that not even a burial would take place. And Daniel was in the den 6 days. Now it was during the 6th day that Habakkuk had prepared some bread, crumbling it into a bowl with some soup and a jar of mixed wine. And he was proceeding into the field to the reapers. And an angel of the Lord spoke to Habakkuk, saying, "These things the Lord God says to you, the meal that you have prepared, deliver to Daniel in the den of lions in Babylon." Now Habakkuk said, "Lord God, I have not seen Babylon, and as for the den, I do not know where it is." And seizing Habakkuk by the hair of his head, the angel of the Lord put him beside the den in Babylon. Then Habakkuk said to Daniel, "Arise, eat the meal that the Lord God has sent to you." Then Daniel said, "The Lord God, the one who does not forsake those who love him, has remembered me." And Daniel ate, and the angel of the Lord set Habakkuk down whence he had taken him on that same day. And the Lord God remembered Daniel. And after these things the king went out mourning for Daniel, and stooping down into the den he saw him sitting there. And crying out loudly, the king said, "Great is the Lord God, there is no other except him." And the king led Daniel out from the den, and he threw those responsible for his destruction into the den in the presence of Daniel, and they were devoured. The children of Zacchaeus, 703 scores.